All right, welcome back to the channel. We are on the road today, heading out to a local Colorado favorite. We are heading to Rocky Mountain Arsenal, and I've got two sort of missions that I'm trying to accomplish today. The first is I'd like to do a quick little tutorial on how to photograph, or at least how I photograph bison, which are out of the arsenal. And then the second thing that I'm looking for is bald eagles. We are in mid-February, and that is typically the time that you can see a bunch of them here on the Front Range at certain hotspots like the Arsenal. So that is the goal for today. So we'll see what we see, and yeah, I'm excited to get out on hopefully what should maybe be not quite a busy day because it's Super Bowl Sunday. So we'll see though.
Oh boy, quick disclaimer here right off the bat. They actually had the bison in a field that was not very accessible to the public, so the bison tutorial is not actually gonna happen in this video. I do apologize about that. I will try to get that in another video when I do go back out to the Arsenal, so yeah, sorry. Ugh.
So generally what I like to do when I first get here is I head straight for the wildlife drive. I'm right here by Lake Ladora, and I won't stop and actually get out and hike there yet. Usually my first, when I first get here, I like to kind of just drive by first, because you can always get like a pretty good view of if there's anything going on out there, if there's a lot of birds or anything like that. So that is usually where I head first, is I just go straight in for the wildlife drive.
The first stop I always make is at Lower Derby Lake. There's a nice parking lot you can walk across. There's tons of waterfowl. Well, when there's actually water in the lake, which there is right now. But there's lots of ducks and gulls, and if you scan all the way across to the other side of the lake, you can oftentimes see bald eagles sitting in the trees back there. And even when there isn't water in the lake, like last year, you can still always see some pretty crazy action like this.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, we do have a tree full of bald eagles, and let me show you kind of what I'm looking at here. Let me spin you around. Camera setup. Bald eagle's tree way out in the distance. And if you'll notice, it's not really a particularly interesting background, but if I pan the camera over a little bit this way, you can see we could get an interesting background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to go down the road a little bit and see if I can put this tree full of eagles with the mountains in the background and make it a little bit better of a photo. So let's go see what we can do. Yeah, it was really great. And one of the things I did like about this was the eagles are far enough out there that I can't zoom in and get like a good portrait shot. So that's definitely not what I was going for here. So I actually pulled my lens back out to around 300, maybe 200 millimeters, and actually made this more of a sort of wildlife landscape shot where you get the eagles in the tree and then you get the awesome mountains in the background with the fresh snow on it. So I think that's, you know, again, another thing that you always have to consider when you're doing photography like this is, you know, not every shot is going to be like that up close, tight portrait, you know, that we always want. And here I was able to even like reposition, make sure I found a good, interesting background, and then shoot that more of like a landscape shot. And yeah, that was really cool. I can't wait to get home and see how it looks off the camera. But no, it's a good thing to always think about. You know, I'm totally guilty of this myself. When I'm out there, you know, I want to get in tight and just get those really sharp, you know, good portrait shots. And sometimes you can go a little bit wide and can still also make really good images. Sorry, I was just looking back there to make sure no more eagles have arrived. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
As I continued my drive around the wildlife loop, I kept seeing more big nests with raptors in trees off in the distance. It's like here I stopped, and this actually wasn't a bald eagle. This was a red-tailed hawk near its nest. But then I did find another bald eagle right on a nest, and I noticed that I was starting to have some problems. As you can see in this clip, the video is starting to get a little bit wavy, and that is being caused by heat waves. We've got the sun out, which is great, but the temperature is actually pretty chilly, sitting in the mid-30s, so that can cause those heat waves to come up off the ground, and that causes a lot of problem for photographers. One way to avoid getting heat waves in your video and your photos is to just shoot things that are closer. So I did.
Well, the hits just keep on coming today. I just stopped to go to the bathroom, and then as I came out, a kestrel landed on one of the power poles, so I zoomed in to take a shot, and yeah, it's got a fresh mouse kill, so man, I just can't miss today. He's up on that power pole right over there.
And this is the last thing that I spotted while I was out at the arsenal this day. This was on a snag overlooking Lake Ladora, and I was so far away, and again, the heat waves coming up off the lake. I don't think I could make a positive identification. I figured once I got home and I looked at the video, I'd be able to tell, but I still can't really tell. There had been a dark morph red-tailed hawk in the area recently. It could be a northern harrier. I don't think it's a bald eagle, so I don't know what to think. Why don't you guys let me know down in the comments what you think this last mystery species could be.
You may be able to see way out there at the top of the trees, there's two bald eagles, but I am not able to get any good photographs of them because there is a lot of heat wave. So I think I am probably going to call it a day, but man, this is one of the best days I have had out at the arsenal in a long time. So I'm glad I came out here, and yeah, it's been really good today. So I'm glad I came out here.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video shot on Super Bowl Sunday out at Rocky Mountain Arsenal. That place is it's always boom bust, you know? Like sometimes I go out there and it's completely dead and there's not much, and then you have days like yesterday when I was out there and it just seemed like there was something good around every corner. So yeah, it was awesome. But thank you also for sticking around for this little bonus segment. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to make a video about this, or if I even wanted to make a video about this, but I'm deciding to put it here at the end of this video because something pretty cool has happened, at least something cool to me. Your boy had a photo published in the Colorado Outdoors photography issue, which if you don't know, it is a big magazine that at the end of each year, they do a photography dedicated issue. So all of Colorado's best wildlife and outdoors photographers submit their best stuff that they've shot throughout the year to try to get published in this magazine. And it's a pretty big honor to get published in it. And I've never submitted anything before, mostly because I'm like, no, that's for like the pros, you know? Like I'm an average to above average photographer, but I don't think my stuff is good enough to be published or, you know, like win contests, stuff like that. But then in October, I did see that they were calling for submissions, and I just thought, you know what? I actually made some pretty good images this year. I think I'm going to submit a few. So this is a clip that I recorded last week of me going over my photos that I submitted, the ones that got rejected, and then the one that got picked. So I thought I would include it here at the end of this video so you guys can take a look. Again, it's the Colorado Outdoors magazine. You can go get a copy. I will post the link. It is print only. So I will post a link in the description if you want to order a copy, because there's some really, really good stuff in there. Trust me, my photo that made it in is pretty good, but there's way better stuff. So anyways, here's a clip of me going over the shots I submitted and the one that got picked. So thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. All right, well, to kick us off here, I thought I'd go over at least the photos that I submitted, and we'll go over the rejected ones first. So I really like this shot here of this little great horned owlet. It was in this park in Arapahoe County, and what I really liked about the shot is not that there's anything like that special or particular about this owlet. I just really liked the scene. This was right as we were losing light, and he was sitting there just looking at me really curiously, and I just thought his eyes and his still baby feathers made him really bright, kind of amongst these like dark trees and kind of that dark green background. So I just thought it really stood out well, and I just really liked the shot. But that was not picked. And then the next shot I submitted is again another owl. This was one of the long-eared owls from Cherry Creek Reservoir. Then again, what I kind of like about the shot is even though it's really messy and there's lots of branches and snags kind of everywhere, I really liked his eyes. Just really made him stand out there, and there's just a little kind of peek in through some of these branches where I felt like I got a good, you know, shot of his face, and it was this little kind of portal into him hiding back there in all the trees. I just thought it was a really good shot, but it was also rejected. And then the other one is, of course, the Redmore Screech Owl. Now, I knew the chances of this getting selected really low because I knew tons of people were going to submit stuff for this. But I don't know. I just thought this was a really cool shot. I liked the way the sunlight was coming in on him and kind of lighting up his eyes. And he had that look back. And I just thought it was a cool shot. It's not a cool perch, and but it was not picked. So which shot was picked of mine? Well, it would be, not surprisingly, the Limpkin. Man, people love this Limpkin. And of course, this was definitely a historic sort of sighting here in Colorado. It was the first time the Limpkin had ever been seen in Colorado before, and it was also the furthest west a Limpkin had ever been documented before. Now, of course, I wasn't the one who found the Limpkin. I just went down there a couple days after it was discovered and got some good shots. And of course, this shot, again, I think is a good shot. I really like how the photo captured that sort of that gradient color of its beak, and the water was really smooth that day. And yeah, he was just out foraging and got the shot nice and sharp. The eyes look really good. And normally this kind of is sort of a no-go on a bird photo. You don't want them facing away from you. But the way he kind of looked back, I thought made a really good shot. So I was happy that this was selected. And yeah, I'm really glad I made that, 2.5 hour drive out to Rama to see this guy. This photo has been, every time I post it anywhere, people are like, oh, no way. So I guess in this sense, I'm not really surprised that this was the photo that got selected.